we have to talk about Iran. The mullahs, the murderous mullahs, are slaughtering thousands of their people in the streets, and the world is silent. I'm not even going to make the point that there's not a single protester at Columbia University or Berkeley. We know that all of that was just about anti-Semitism, and nobody cared about Palestinian lives in Gaza. They didn't care if Hamas slaughtered Palestinians. It was just a way of demonizing Jews and Israel. So I'm not even going to comment about the hypocrisy on our campuses or anywhere else where there's no protests about Iran. I'm going to speak about governments. How does the EU, how does the United States of America, how does the UN allow Iran to simply kill all of its people? In fact, the only world leader who has spoken out against this is President Trump. The fact that President Trump said that the United States is locked and loaded to protect the people of Iran just shows you the morality of his foreign policy, especially when it goes against his own base, because the MAGA base is anti-interventionist. Now, let me just be clear. My family is from Iran. My father was born in Esfahan, Iran, which is the ancient imperial capital of Iran. My father built a synagogue for the community in Esfahan. He went there for the cornerstone laying, whenever that was, about 14 years ago. And when it was completed, he wanted to go, and I stopped him because we share the same last name, and I'm such a critic of Iran. I feared for his safety, obviously. But could you imagine what it would be like for me to be able to go to the country where my ancestors lived since the destruction of the first temple 2,500 years ago? Of course I could not go because it would be a one-way trip. I would arrive, I'd be arrested, I'd be killed. It would be that simple, decapitated or just tortured, God forbid. But this is no longer about what they would do to Americans, how they kidnap Americans. It's about what they're doing to Iranians. You know, in the 2009 Green Revolution, President Obama, who had an amoral foreign policy, a foreign policy that did not emphasize human rights, President Obama didn't even speak out in favor of the protesters. He didn't make any comment like President Trump has made right now, that America's locked and loaded and ready to protect the citizens of Iran. Obama was just completely silent. He was silent about the slaughter of Bashar al-Assad in Syria, etc. So I first want to thank President Trump for his emphasis on human rights. And is there a possibility that this regime will be toppled? Not yet. You know, my father, my son Mendy told me that my father, again, born and raised in Iran, told him that in 2019, there were other protests, that the Iranian government would kill 1 million people before it allowed itself to be toppled. That's probably true. Maybe they'd kill 5 million people. You're talking about people who have no respect for human life. So are we close to a toppling regime? Not yet, unless the world intervenes. But we have to stop the murderous mullahs.